Good morning, students. Today we will be doing the second stanza of the poem Rain on the Roof. In the previous stanza, we had seen that how the poet is relating himself to the nature, and now in the second stanza also we will see that how the poet is expressing his feelings when he hears the pattering of the raindrops. So let us start with the explanation. Yes, just see the second stanza. Every tinkle on the ceiling has an echo in the heart, and a thousand dreams fancies into busy being starts, and a thousand recollections weave their air thread into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. So now before explaining line by line, let us see to the meaning of the difficult words. Yes, tinkle and shilling are the sounds of raining or are the sounds of ringing something. Like in the previous stanza, the author has used the sound patter. So you can say that tinkle and shilling are synonyms for patter. So here the poet, in every stanza, the poet will be using different words to describe the sound of the rain which is falling on the roof. So tinkle and shilling are also the sound of rain which is falling on the roof. Now echo. Echo means when the sound is repeated again or it is heard again. Now the next word meaning is woof. Woof means a cloth. Okay, a piece of cloth which is weaved. Weaved का मतलब गुथा हुआ. So when anyone knits anything or when anyone has weaved the cloth, that is called as woof. And patter again is the sound of raindrops on the roof. So now let us start with the explanation of the line by line. Now this stanza is little difficult, so I want you all to pay attention and immediately write the summary too. Now look at the stanza. In this stanza, the poet expresses his feeling when he hears the sound of the rain on the roof. Okay, so he says that every tinkle on the ceiling has an echo in his heart. Okay, means that every drop of rain on the roof, with every drop of rain on the roof, there is a repeated sound of the rain in his heart. Mean as the rain is falling on the roof, he is feeling that sound on the roof also, and he is feeling that sound in his heart also. Means this shows that he is relating himself to the nature. Now the next line, and a thousand dreamy fancies. Okay, means here in his dream the poet starts imagining. Now by listening in the previous stanza we have seen that the poet was in melancholy, means sad. Then the poet he rests on his pillow which gives him pleasure, and he slowly starts thinking about his past. So here also the poet is listening to the sound of the rain, and he is now thinking of his past. All the memories, good memories, are just coming into his mind. And so here, and a thousand dreamy fancies. Fancies means imagination. Thousand is not indicating any number, but thousand means many. So in his dream now, the poet starts imagining many things. All his childhood memories starts reflecting in his mind. Into busy being start. Into busy being start means the poet has now got busy with all the dreams, all the memories which are coming into his mind, all his childhood memory, one after one. There is no gap between the memory. As one memory comes, it finishes, again the next thought is coming. After that again the next thought is coming. For that's why the poet has used the word thousands. So one after one the thoughts are reflecting, or it is recollecting in his mind, and the poet says that he has totally become busy in only thinking about all his past memories, and he is just listening to the sound of the rain, and that sound is giving him pleasure. He is now away from the depression and anxiety, and he has totally gone into the past memories of his childhood. And a thousand recollections, recollections here is related to the memories of his childhood. So in all these three lines here you can see that the poet is saying that he starts recollecting all the childhood memories, all the beautiful memories of his childhood, as he is resting on the pillow, as he is listening to the sound of the raindrops. One by one all the memories are coming into his mind. Now see the line, weave their air threads into woof. Okay, now this line you have to understand very nicely. Now here the poet is you can say comparing, or he has said that as a weaver, okay, bunkar, as a weaver weaves a cloth, he takes many kind of thread or many colors of thread and he makes a cloth piece. In the same way here the poet is collecting all his memory. Here thread is not actually the thread, but here thread is referring to the memories of his childhood. So here the poet is saying that one by one beautiful memories, colorful memories are coming in his mind, and when he is collecting and weaving, when he is recollecting all this memory, he has made a beautiful cloth means the a beautiful picture of all the you can say like a collage. Okay, he has made a big collage of all the beautiful memory which he is telling as cloth. As the weavers, they collect all beautiful threads, colorful threads, and when they weave, जब कोई बुनकर बहुत सारे कलर थ्रेड्स को लेकर बुनता है तो एक अच्छा सुंदर सा क्लॉथ या एक अच्छा सुंदर सा फैब्रिक बन जाता है। उसी प्रकार ये पोएट भी जब अपने सारे मेमोरीज़ को रिकलेक्ट कर रहा है और उन्हें जब इकट्ठा कर रहा है, कोलाज बना रहा है, तो एक बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल और सुंदर पिक्चर बन गया है। सो हियर द poet is just telling that when he recollected all his childhood memory, a beautiful picture was just in front of him, and all this how he is recollecting, just by listening to the pattering of the raindrops on the roof. Now let us see the rhyming scheme. The rhyming scheme is same as in stanza A. The word shingle, heart, fancies. So all these three shingle, heart, fancy, start. So heart and start are rhyming with each other. That's why it is A, B, C and again B. Heart and start will be B. Recollection, again a different word, so it is D. Woof, again a different word, so it is E. But woof is rhyming with roof, so roof will also be E, and patter is F. So same rhyming scheme as it was used in the first stanza. Now let us see the poetic device which is used here. The first poetic device used here is alliteration. Just you can see the lines in which alliteration is used. Busy, being, the sound of ba is repeated here. There, the sound of tha is repeated, and rain, roof. Okay, the sound of ra is repeated here, and for that's why it is alliteration. Now the next poetic device which was also present in the first stanza is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is again used here, tinkle and patter. As I told you, tinkle is a synonym for patter, and whenever any sound is used in a poem to express the feeling or to express something, it is called as onomatopoeia. The last poetic device which is used here is personification. Now, why in this line personification is used? And 1,000 recollection weave their air threads into woof. Here, personification is used because the act of weaving is done by a human being, and this weaving is associated to the picture or to the memories of the poet. Recollection means memories, and so what the poet is weaving, the poet is weaving the memories and making a big picture. And weaving is not done in dreams. Weaving is an act done by weavers, and for that's why it is a human act, and therefore this line is personification. So I hope children you all have understood. Just write the summary, and so that